Okay, fine. Everybody has been begging black people to support the march on April 5th. In the spirit of Chuck Schumer, we will pen a strongly worded email. Hey, shout out to all the subscribers and members here on the channel. I am Reese Waters, and this is Street
people are going to march
Politics.
in the United States on April 5th. 1,000,000 people.
Sit your black ass down. Sit your black ass down. Sit your black ass down.
April 5th is coming. And before anybody starts romanticizing protest, let me just say it plain as day. No confusion. We are not going out there. Not this time. We are not going out there. A whole lot of people are planning to hit the streets, right? I know y'all have heard the buzz. Chants, signs, cameras, emotions are going to be high. I get it. Hell, I've been out there before. But the last time we marched, what happened? They tear gassed us, shoved elders to the ground, committed vandalism, and then blamed us. They shot rubber bullets at kids, and then had the nerve to call us violent. We showed up with our voices. They showed up with riot gear. We screamed, "Don't shoot," and they loaded that clip anyway. And let's be clear, this administration, they've let us know in no uncertain terms, Black people in the street equals threat. They're looking for a reason to vilify us. They're waiting for a headline to twist. They're hoping for a camera angle that's going to justify their brutality. And what do we get in return? A quote tweet, a statement, maybe a mural, but no safety, no justice, no peace. So no, we're not marching this time. We're not going to give them the photo op that they so desperately want. We're not playing into that cycle. We're not going to give them the excuse that they're so desperate for. We're protecting our people. We're staying home. We're building offline. We're organizing smarter. Because we don't need to be in the streets to prove that our rage is real. So let them march. Let them bait. Let them spin the same tired narratives. But don't let them turn your Blackness into a threat on live TV. April 5th? We sit back, we step back, we stay safe, because survival is resistance too.
So wait, I'm just supposed to sit out the game like Scottie Pippen?
It's hands off for us. That cape you wearing turned into a blanket. We playing spades, we watching TV, we having a cookout, we binge watching old Martin episodes, we doing everything but going to this damn march. Where them fans at? Find them fans April 5th. This ain't got nothing to do with us. We did not put that man in office, so this is day 5. Y'all remember when you was younger and your bike got stolen and your mother told you don't come in this house till you go get your bike back? It's their turn to go get the bike back. You can even look at the flyer and tell this ain't got nothing to do with us. Medicaid, Medicare, Social Security, public lands, fair elections, NATO, veteran affairs, cancer research, schools, libraries, free speech, LGBTQ, immigrants, judges, clean energy, our bodies, our jobs, personal data, everything but black rights, everything but discrimination, everything but redlining. You sit your ass down. Do not go out there and let them pepper spray you and beat you down and pour them tanks out and gas spray you, because when black people mobilize, you a threat. When white people mobilize, it's a march. Sit your ass in the house. I don't know what is streaming on April 5th, but we need to look that up, because Dope Thief is good. The Pit is good. I know Tyler Perry got a movie every week that's probably good. It's watchable. I'm telling you right now, find something to do on April 5th. They saying TikTok going to shut down, and that's just scary, because the TikTok go dark, and it's going dark the same day this march is going down. That means they might know something we don't, and they might be ready to get lit. I'm just saying.
Black folks on social media are warning Black Americans not to participate in an upcoming global protest against the Trump administration and Elon Musk. On Saturday, April 5th, thousands of people in the U.S. and around the world are preparing to protest Trump in what they're calling hands-off National Day of Action. According to Third Act, one of the organizations that helped put together this massive protest, said the event is meant to stand up against those who believe they can take whatever they want, our democracy, our future, our rights. So far, more than 600 events have been planned across all 50 states. Events have also been planned in Europe and Canada. Indivisible, another organization helping to mobilize, prompted the protests on Blue Sky, writing, "Donald Trump and Elon Musk think this country belongs to them. They're taking everything they can get their hands on and daring the world to stop them. On April 5th, we're taking to the streets nationwide to fight back with a clear message, hands off." White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt pushed back against the protests, saying they will never work to deter the president from further pushing his agenda. Anyone who thinks protests, lawsuits, and lawfare will deter President Trump must have been sleeping under a rock for the past several years. And on that account, let me make this the first time, I believe, that I've ever agreed with Caroline Leavitt. I don't see any way that pushback is going to deter him from doing what he feels like is in his best interest, unless that pushback reaches a critical mass and it is no longer politically expedient. But what I would like for you to take from that is what she is openly admitting is they do not care about what the people think. So the people are saying you feel like this country belongs to you and you can do whatever you want, but you need to be beholden to the people. And he is literally confirming that by virtue of Caroline Leavitt. Like she really never opens her mouth without it being a massive constitutional problem. How about this one?
So are you saying that it is okay to ignore a judge's ruling if you don't like it?
Who does that judge work for?
That's another one of my favorites, but I'm not here to talk about that. As far as the why people decided they wanted to sit out. A major driver behind the stay home movement was genuine concern for safety. Many pointed out the potential for things to escalate, possibly leading to situations involving martial law. This fear wasn't unfounded, especially considering past political rhetoric. Concerns were amplified by memories of Trump's previous comments regarding the use of military force against protesters described in certain terms. Furthermore, there was a pervasive worry that the black participants could be disproportionately targeted by law enforcement or counter-protesters, a recurring pattern in American history.
Yo, what's up, y'all? So check it out. We are not protesting April 5th. Every black person, keep your behind at home. They're trying to do a mass protest, and I'm not the only one that's feeling like that this is a setup, and this could lead to martial law that they're trying to basically make happen. It's a setup, y'all. Listen, let these white people and let these MAGA people fight themselves. All right? We ain't helping nobody out. Y'all ended up voting for this fool. And guess what? Now we're in this predicament. But they're trying to do a 2 million plus man protest march on April 5th. Nope, we ain't doing it. We're not doing it. So share this with everybody and let them know to stay at home April 5th. All right? Eat you some popcorn, watch a movie. Go and hang out with your friends or whatever, but we ain't protesting. We ain't doing it. Nope, this is not our fight. And guess what? They should have listened, but they didn't. So now they're going to have to suffer. Stay at home.
And then there's this. Let's not give them what they want on April 5th. Black people do not march, stay home. They are looking for a reason to once again vilify black people, to be violent against us and invoke martial law. Stand in solidarity with those who march peacefully, denounce violence, and focus on other ways to circumvent what is going on by using the law and other protest means. Focus on bettering black communities. Most of all, pray and meditate that day. Give it to God and let God, who's above all, handle it. Peace. They do love to vilify a march when it involves black people. You know, actually, your march should actually go down a lot better without black people. Now that they mention it.
What's good, y'all? So I want to address something really quickly because one, this is very important, and two, I'm starting to see my people get a little shaky. And I think that what's going on in the world is currently testing everyone's resolve because we're not used to sitting back, but pay attention to this. So over the past few days, I've been seeing a lot of us asking each other, like, are we really going to sit this out? Are we really not going to protest? We're not going to help? You have to answer that question for yourself, but I do want to make you mindful of something. So this is the first time in recent history that black people as a collective have decided to sit out the fight. This is the first time that we've said we weren't going to protest, we weren't going to join in. And there's still protests taking part all over the country. Have you guys noticed that there's a very big difference in the way these protests are being conducted? I haven't seen anybody laying out bricks or tools that could be used to deface or destruct property. I haven't seen police gas bombing anybody. I haven't seen anybody being put into vans and disappeared and getting arrested for no reason. None of that has been taking place. And it's funny that this isn't taking place because this is the first time that we haven't been out there. So you need to think about that. These other communities that are trying to gaslight you into helping and trying to make it seem as if it's all going to be us, we already know that. It's always been us. It's always been that way. But they're doing that because they are afraid to throw the first stone, which a few people have said, but they want us to do it. And they want us to do it knowing what our fate will be if we do. And that's the part I want to focus in on. Everybody understands that when we're on the front lines, that's when violence ensues. We have the right to protest just like anybody else. We have the right to peacefully protest, which is what we do. But do you see the stigma that was attached to the Black Lives Matters protest? People were saying that they were violent and people were attacking cops and defacing property. We weren't doing that. They were doing that. All of that was a setup. So now they're sitting around waiting for us to kickstart this thing so that they can start doing the same things to us again, even though they know that we said we weren't putting ourselves on the front lines like that. They still want you to. Now, if you feel like you need to go out there, you feel led to do that, that's on you. I can't tell you what to do or what not to do. I can only speak for myself. I can always speak and advocate from my phone. But like I said, my attention is going toward my people, is going toward myself, my personal life, and fixing what I can fix and controlling what I can control. But I'm not willing to be so self-sacrificing that I put myself out there when the contrast is so stark. I can see exactly what the differences are between what's taking place now and what's taking place in the past. And I'm not going to be put out there. I'm just not going to do it. Guys, really pay attention to that. These protests are so different. These are the most peaceful protests that I've seen as far as the way that the police and everybody else interacts. Like, we've always been peaceful in our protests, but the way that they're handling these people, nobody's getting treated the way that we normally get treated. But what do you think is going to happen if we put ourselves out there? Pay attention to that, because people are trying to make it seem like it's all about the Latino people getting deported and all that stuff. No, first off, more than just their community is going to be deported. They aren't the only immigrants in the country, but also they already know what happens when Black people are on the front lines, and they really don't care about asking you to do that. Everybody's asking you to sacrifice yourself for them when they wouldn't do the same for you, and they showed us that over and over again. Now, I'm not trying to make us see people as less than human or tell us that we shouldn't care or shouldn't have empathy. We should. But y'all, we cannot keep interrupting people's lessons, okay? Our lesson is to learn to take care of ourselves. We've never done that. Their lesson is to learn how to do the same and how to stand up for humanity as a whole. You can't sit around talking about being human and united and solidarity if you don't exercise that every single day of your life. This is your time to shine. This is your time to get out there on the front lines. And while you're making demands of Black people, make demands of everybody else. We're the only community being punched down on for not wanting to participate when other communities don't participate at all and don't even talk about the stuff. Why do we always get the backlash? Think about that, y'all. They want us to sacrifice ourselves, and I personally am not going to do it. Like, I understand that it's hard for a lot of us because we have so much empathy, but y'all, please, have that empathy toward us. Put us first this time, please.
And that was one of the other consistent messages that I've heard is the utilization of our own empathy, the utilization of our own strength against us, and how time and time again that has not benefited us specifically.
This message is for Black people and Black people only. We are in a time right now where a lot of people want to take advantage of our emotional and resilience capital that has been built up on the backs of us over the hundreds of years that we have been in this country, because they are in a position where they are finding out that the choices that they made, while informed, were poor choices. And I want to stress with us how important it is for us to practice self-care. And one of the tenets with self-care is prioritizing yourself. We are compassionate as a people by nature. We want everyone to be okay by nature. But unfortunately, we're in a season where we don't have the luxury of worrying about others because of what is on ground for us. And so I would encourage us to be really careful of falling into the trap that is happening right now, where we're being gaslit to believe that we have not supported other communities and we have not been there for other communities, and they have been there for us. And I don't want to go down the laundry list of opportunities that they could have been there to stand with us and to fight with us when it was our community that was under attack, which is consistently the theme in this country. But what they're not going to do now is come in because they are suffering and don't know how to handle this the way we do. Because again, we've been here before. We know how this is. This isn't new to us. we just continue to grow and to thrive in spite of what they throw our way, we're not responsible. And so this is the time for us to have self-reflection. This is a time for us to band together to build something infrastructurally that will last beyond this point so that we no longer have to be dependent on others for our communal well-being. So I just want to stress that to you all. It's going to probably get worse before it gets better. But for us to survive this next 4 years, and I roll my eyes at that because it's just hard to believe that it hasn't even been 2 months yet. But to survive this next 4 years, we are going to have to prioritize ourselves as a community and make sure that we take care of ourselves. That's all I got.
And while we're on the topic of taking care of ourselves, there's this little fact that was pointed out. April 5th, Million Man March and protest. Dear Black people, stay your Black ass home. They've been doing the most to get Black people mad and come out. Some are just looking for a reason to come after us. We're not going to play their game. We're minding our own. Stay home. So if you wanted to make the case that it was somehow a setup for Black people, you would have to point to a litany of things that they have done specifically to inflame the Black community. You know, like the DEI purges, or how about floating out a pardon for Chauvin in the George Floyd case? Or how about trying to cancel Black History Month and then begrudgingly letting it go forward? How about freezing the civil rights cases, the Civil Rights Division of the Department of Justice? How about coming after the Blacksonian? Or how about coming after Jackie Robinson? How about that? You would have to look at the litany of things that they have done specifically to inflame Black people. And that's just on a national scale. That's beside all of the local stuff, you know, like the Yahtzees on the bridge in a Black community in Lincoln Heights, Ohio. You know, stuff like that's happening locally. But we're talking about like the national stuff right there. So the idea that they wouldn't be specifically targeting us becomes much more difficult to make. And once we're past that, you tell me how exactly they are prepared to receive you should you hit the streets, because I kind of have had this conversation before about how they're willing to react had we hit the streets earlier. Anybody got any other ideas? And just to add a little cherry on top for the inflaming of Black people, why is White Lives Matter trending right now? Just out of nowhere. Just literally while I'm recording this, I see that White Lives Matter is trending. Yeah. Anybody got any other ideas? Okay, fine. Everybody has been begging Black people to support the march on April 5th. In the spirit of Chuck Schumer, we will pen a strongly worded email. I don't know exactly what my favorite part. No, it's in the spirit of Chuck Schumer. And in the spirit of Chuck Schumer is exactly right. I can work on a draft. Be sure to mention your disappointment and grave concern. I'll be honest, I'm kind of surprised nobody mentioned thoughts and prayers, but naturally when we mentioned writing a strongly worded email, that brought a whole host of other people to comment on the issue.
I have a message out there for all you Black people. I need you to stay away. No, seriously, on April 5th, do not go to D.C. It is a trap. Let us handle it. We fucked up here. Black women especially, y'all came out and showed out for Kamala Harris. Black men, y'all need to come to Jesus meeting, but please still don't go to the Capitol on April 5th. Thank you.
I was kind of rocking with you till you decided to talk about Black men. Look at the white men escaping scot-free in that one. Really? Hey, you better come get her. Come get her. You got her.
Just a reminder to my fellow white people, you are not an ally if black men and black women are telling you that they are not going to protest on April 5th because it will put their lives in harm's way and you throw a tantrum. Saying, oh, we all have to work together. Shouldn't we all come together, we the people? Don't you care about the future, about the children, about the time to come together was at the election. We failed them. So now their rest is their resistance, and they are staying home and staying safe as they should because their lives are too precious to put on the line. And what would cost me and people who look like me getting yelled at or at the worst tear gas, which isn't likely, would cost them their physical lives. And they've already been giving those lives for centuries in this country for all the rights that we enjoy. So it is our turn to step up and to speak up. And honestly, if you're telling them that they should go to that protest, you're an op and not an ally.
Now, naturally, everybody isn't going to agree.
You've been fighting for our rights since the 1960s, you say. So then what's the issue? Keep going. Why are you in my comment section not only trying to get some sort of praise or reward for you having done the heavy lifting since the 1960s, but you're also wasting your time and energy getting upset because black women and black men are saying that y'all got this, we're taking our much deserved rest. That's weird. As someone who fought for my rights through the 1960s, you should very well know that black folk have been fighting for our rights since 1619. Yeah, I don't think that's comparable. I think it's weird that y'all are so up in arms about the fact that black women and black men are saying that we're taking time to ourselves to rejuvenate, to focus on self-care, to not put our bodies on the line. And the fact that you are demanding physical labor from black people is wild, and it's very white of you. And as somebody who fought for my rights in the 1960s, you should know that in 2025, you do not call a black woman girl. I'm not your girl. I am a 34-year-old grown-ass woman. And this is exactly why we are sitting out, why we are leaving the heavy lifting to you all, why we are leaving the danger to you all. Because you continuously disrespect us, although it has been us, black folk, who have led every march, every protest, every movement, for you to even have the rights that you have as a white woman. You wouldn't have that without us. And yet somehow you still continue to disrespect us. You still continue to minimize us. You still continue to demand labor from us as if you have any control over our bodily autonomy like you always have thought you do. White people have a history of trying to tell black folk what to do with our bodies, and we are telling you outright no more. We will be sitting comfortably and safely while you all take to the streets. And that shouldn't be an issue for you, Carolyn, since you've been doing it since the 1960s, right? Okay, so then what is the issue here? You don't get a cookie for not being a racist. You don't get praise for doing the bare minimum. We want y'all on the front lines. We want y'all to mobilize. We want y'all to organize. We want y'all to lead. We want y'all to decenter yourselves for a moment, as hard as that is for y'all, and try to have a little bit of empathy for the people that this has been affecting. Y'all are only coming into it now. Maybe not you specifically, although I somehow doubt that, but you're only coming into it now that your pockets are being affected. This is why we're sitting down. And as somebody who fought for my rights since the 1960s, you would know that it's a well-deserved rest.
And I appreciate that coming from our current generation, but the elders themselves have spoken.
I'm probably old enough to be your grandmother. Maybe your mother, but probably your grandmother. So, all you YNs out there, reach one, teach one. Go tell your fellow YNs, no protesting, please. They want you out there. You know that, right? We will need your services sometime. But don't go to the protests, please. Head on a swivel. Surround yourself with community and be well.
have to be to think that all black people are a monolith or even feel the same way about what's going on. I mean, there's fucking black people that support this shit. Do you know how anti-immigrant y'all were being after the election, talking about fucking around, find out? So no, I don't want to hear it. Y'all are not just, oh, we shouldn't protest because we're scared. Y'all aren't scared. Y'all are just hateful because you lost. That's what it goes down to, because I showed y'all that video, and then the next video, she was defending Kamala. So you're not scared when it comes to defending Kamala, because that's not dangerous, because y'all are still supporting the empire. Y'all were quiet about a genocide then, now you're telling us to shut up now. And I'm talking about you black liberals who want to destroy black radical thought because you were paid by the Democratic Party to do that because it's so dangerous for them when they found out we were solid. So my black ass is going to keep standing up. Y'all don't have a right to tell us what we are and aren't going to do, bitch.
That's your flex. That's your flex. That flex is coming from that's coming from the far left wing. I'm guessing the far left wing wants to own the people that are resting because they went hard in the paint last year to try and not have an economy, society, and constitution all crashing at once. The people who was in the streets for that at that time, you want to dunk on them for not being in the streets now. So you in the streets now, but you wouldn't lend your support earlier when it wouldn't matter. Hey, I got a red hat you should put on. Yeah, it would look so good on you.
So I get that April 5th is coming and a lot of black people are like, stay in the house, rest, don't go outside, don't participate in the protests. Like, first of all, I think that y'all are using your platforms irresponsibly. If you're going to tell black people not to show up to protests that are happening on the street level, at least give them some advice to organize locally, to close ranks and do things that protect their community. Because at the end of the day, black people are going to experience whatever happens to everybody else threefold. Like, it happens to us and it happens to us the worst. Also, you know, the threat of violence from fucking ignorant, racist white people has literally always been there. During slavery, during Reconstruction, you know, during the Civil Rights Movement, the threat of violent white people was never enough to keep black people from being active. Like, we had to fight for our rights because we need them to survive, regardless of what they're going to do. So whether they're calling the National Guard on us, which is old news, whether they're turning the hose on us, whether they're sicking dogs on us, whether they're tear gassing us, whether they're shooting rubber bullets in the street, like, these things are not new instances. This is not new behavior. But us not willing to fight for our own rights, like, that I told you so mentality, where it's like we told everybody else not to vote for Trump, so we gonna sit back and watch as they get fucked up. It's like, listen, I understand the sentiment, I get it, but also at the same time, we really just can't afford to sit back and do nothing. Like, y'all are crazy out of your mind if you think it's not gonna impact black folks, and you're not giving anybody any other suggestions on your platforms. You just saying stay in the house, rest, self-care, do a line dance. Like, you know, sure, do all those things, but organize mutual aid circles, support organizations that are already doing the work, start going to town halls, you know, start talking to your neighbors, start prepping, start doing something that will contribute to movement in your neighborhood, or contribute to the survival of black folks, or contribute to, like, us being able to take care of one another instead of being rugged individualists who aren't doing shit. Over here talking about, I'm not my ancestors. You're sure the fuck not, because you're not doing a thing. Anyway, ran over. And I just want to add one more thing. Everybody's like, oh, well, martial law is their goal. They're going to shoot at us. They're going to arrest us. They're going to target us unfairly. Newsflash, I don't know if you've been out there. I've been out there. I don't know if you've been out there or not, but they're doing that anyway. They're doing it to innocent little boys and girls. They're doing it to actual protesters. They're already doing it to elders and people who are just going to work. They're doing it to content creators who are on the internet. They're already doing that. That is the status quo. So I don't know what the fuck you guys are so afraid of. Like, but anyways, you know, segregation was just legalized again. So who do you think is going to get impacted by that? And we sat back and rested on our laurels during that time. Like, so what else are we going to allow to happen in this meantime? So I get it, you know, I understand the need to want to step back and let everybody else finally start doing the work that we've had to do for generations. But, to think that they're going to do it for us and to rely on their successes with absolutely none of our participation or leadership in this, to think that they're going to look out for us is fucking wild. It also is telling me that y'all haven't learned shit. Like, black people don't get benefits unless black people are in the front trying to figure this out. So, if we're sitting at home resting, what do you think they're going to magically think about us? You think legislation is automatically going to apply to us? Like, I don't know what y'all are thinking, So anyways, if you're not going to go out and protest, which I understand everybody can't, or, that's maybe not your role, but figure something else out. Don't just sit back and don't do shit, because we're going to be the ones who experience the worst of it.
Now, I'll be honest, this woman raised some very good points. And the first one that she raised, I thought was the best one, which is, if you are not going to hit the streets in protest, what else can you do that will help push forward our condition, our unity, our strength, our communication, things like that? What other constructive things can you do? Now, I would also say sometimes it's constructive to rest. Sometimes it is constructive to meditate. Those things can absolutely be constructive. Now, as far as the case that she's making about, martial law and things like that happening anyway, and the elimination of due process and things like that happening anyway, she's not wrong in that regard. But yet, should you not take the lessons from the past and try and utilize the bits and pieces that you can to create a better strategy moving forward? Like, they're just going to do it anyway would have been justification for us to have never evolved our means of protest and means of resistance. And clearly that has happened over the course of the last 400 years. So I don't think they're going to do it anyway really resonates. But as far as constructive resistance, as far as uniting, connecting, and building community with one another, that I wholesale agree with, and I salute you for that. As far as all of the creators and all the people who put them videos together, that was good work. I'll be honest, that was good work. Y'all connected. Y'all connected. I see y'all over there. Yeah.
Sit your black ass down.
I have never felt revolutionary from the couch. You guys have done that for me. You really, and I appreciate it, because I'm in a new decade and a new phase of life, and there's going to be a lot of couch sitting. So if I can feel revolutionary from the couch, that is, y'all really gave me that one. Hey, shout out to all of the subscribers and members here on the channel. The day has finally arrived. We have new merch, which is live on the website. You'll notice some of that has some new logos. So I would love to get you guys' opinion on that. So stay tuned for some polls. Look out for those in the community tab. And by the way, those members, be on the lookout for a discount for you guys as well. And speaking of members, I definitely want to give a shout out to everybody who joined the last Members Live celebration. I wish Lauren Boebert would. I wish he would. Because I can go in the trunk. I can get my fat lever. You want me to get mellow on you? And speaking of which, apparently you guys really enjoy both the Black MAGA and the Karen content.
We have Republicans that are not even willing to address you.
Could that be a new regular bit on the horizon? Stay tuned.